So much love.
News stories, if you will, or blog
Until we
posts
see each
about
other in person for big hugs.
God,
Of
or being
course,
treated
we'll be in touch,
like they have
of
less,
course. But thank you
because they
so
come
much
from
for
America,
sharing your
and they're
time and
kind of
your
like,
energy.
we don't want to work here. They have that, corona. So I'm glad that I did.
In high school, I had a friend who I ended up attending the same university with. You know, we were in a lot of classes together, especially like our junior and senior year. A lot of AP courses. Once you get into AP courses, you typically are in the same classes with the same people, and you start to form friendships because of the familiarity, if nothing else. And, you know, we just really got along really well. If I'm not mistaken, like our birthdays are in the same month, maybe even the same week. So, I mean, we were really good friends. And shout out to Libras. So, you know, it was exciting when we were all, you know, applying to colleges, and we both decided, you know, that we were applying to the same universities. Some of them we decided not together, but it turned out we were going to go to the same school. We wanted to pursue the same degree, and we ended up both, you know, not only attending Indiana University, but, you know, students, if you will, of the business school, Kelly School of Business, and graduated the same year, all of that. For the most part, I did 4 years. I think he may have done 4.5, but either way, I think our junior year, we were now into our core classes, and we had a class together. And he was like, oh yeah, we should definitely study together. Boom, boom, boom. Which I was like, cool, let's do it. And I did really well in the class. And so I remember us, you know, studying. We got the first test back or second test back, can't even recall. And he did not do as well. And so one of our study sessions, you know, he was really frustrated and shared with me, you know, I think from a very vulnerable point. Like, he was at a very vulnerable point and was like, you know, I'm not really used to this. And I was like, okay, I mean, I totally get it. There's some classes that are just harder than the others, right? And he was like, no, I mean, I don't really usually have to even put forth this much effort to take these classes, but you know, this professor is like really difficult. He doesn't have like a old test that's floating around. You know, I usually get those from my frat brothers, you know. And I was like, wait, what? And you know, he also had revealed that there was this whole system in play that many students, especially within, you know, his circle of friends, fraternity, if you will, where they could basically file some sort of document stating that they were dealing with a learning disability, and that would allow them to take tests later than everybody else, different versions of tests that are not necessarily as hard as the general test that all of the other students, me included, had to take. And my mind was blown. Okay, blown. And, you know, I was like, wow, like, so what are you going to do? You know, is your GPA going to be an issue if you don't do well in this course? You know, what happens? And mind you, I'm coming from a perspective of someone who has to maintain a GPA to maintain my scholarship. And that was not an issue for him because his parents had the money. He told me straight up, college was paid for. He would not have any debt after graduating. Whereas with me, definitely yes to the debt, but that is after so much of the funds being balanced off by scholarship money and whatnot, because I was out of state just like him. And I was, again, mind blown. So I can recall getting close to the time to graduate, you know, he had given me a ride home and he was just talking about how he didn't have a job waiting for him, unlike me. And, you know, I was like, well, what are you going to do? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to try and get an internship. And then from there, you know, see what happens. My parents are going to make a couple of phone calls. And in that moment, I really realized how different we were. But unpacking this, I don't know, 10 plus years later, it's literally dawned on me that that is white privilege. Hey y'all, thanks for joining. I see Ish, you're here. You want to go ahead? Are you ready? I'm going to request you.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
What's going on?
I need you to find some good lighting, sir.
Hold on. I'm about to go outside.
Mm-hmm. And hey, Betsy. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining and you're not familiar with my guest, I am being joined by Mr. I'm gonna call you Mr. I'm gonna give you that Mr. ISHMAIL ALGHALI. Hey.
Yo.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, I think it's really important what you're doing as far as mobilizing within your own circle of friends and family to raise funds for Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And whatever initiatives that fall under that. So I just wanted you to, you know, share what prompted you to even do that.
Actually, it was a joke. The joke was on Virgil, the Louis Vuitton designer. He had posted a screenshot that he donated $50 to a match my energy type of thing, which is like a slang for people to, like, if I do something, I want you to do exactly what I did. So he
Right.
posted a screenshot saying that he donated $50 to a freedom fund for the protesters that were getting locked up. So, you know, in social media, when stuff like that gets put out, one person makes a joke about it, it goes. So everybody was making a joke about it. It became a funny topic. But then I was talking to a group chat of mine, and I was like, yo, this is funny, but what would you guys do if I took up that same type of initiative? So if I asked you guys to match my energy, would you guys do it? In the beginning, not everybody was, you know, optimistic to, you know, how much I would probably ask them to match. But I said, I'm only going to do $50. So I said, okay, for this $50, we're just going to do, a $500. Let's try to do a goal of $500, right? So within
Okay.
an hour, no. So
Oh.
everybody on my group chats were matching my energy, the $50 energy. So I was like, okay, that's
Okay.
great. Let me see where else I can take this. So I'm on WhatsApp, you know, like every other African. So I threw it in every WhatsApp group that I had, and I threw it on social media. So $500 was my goal. The next morning, I had $1,000.
Wow.
So I was like, wow. So people are really benefiting. Well, are really showing me that they're about this cause, and I'm looking at it at yes, they're doing it for the cause that I'm doing it for, but also the person that it's coming from. Because if I don't trust you as a human being or the type of person you are or the type of heart you have, I'm not gonna give you my money because I don't know what you're gonna do with my money. So the fact that so many people kept reaching out to me, donating and donating and donating, it was overwhelming. So the joke just ended up being something that I now look at like, okay, could this be something I find myself doing? Could I find myself doing community work where I gather people? Because obviously I have a following to an extent where if I give people a message or I try to bring them together for a cause that's positive, they'll show up. Um, so right now, as an update, that $500 goal that I started 2 days ago, I'm right now at $4,681.
Damn.
So
That's what's up.
the joke
That's
really,
amazing.
really went somewhere that I didn't think it would go. My friends were very supportive. Every time I reach a new mark, they'll tell me, don't stop there, keep it going. If you have 1,000, you can get 2,000. If you have 2,000, you can get three. So right now my goal is at 5,000 for the end of tomorrow. But if I get more than that, then that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm not only gonna, give it to one Freedom Fund. I'm gonna split it between Atlanta, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, LA, as well as Minneapolis. Even though they're saying that they've reached like a max of how much money they can take. So if they can't take my money, I'm just gonna donate it to the personal funds of the kids of George Floyd or the family of Ahmaud Arbery. So the money is not for me. I want people to know like I'm not doing this because I need the money. I could care less for it. I just wanted to see what my peers would come out and do. Like I wanted to put the fire to my peers. Like we're all gonna have to deal with this situation one day, and I want to make sure you know that if you are on the other side of this fight, that we will be there for you. Like if you were in the place or your family member were in the place of George Floyd, you can rely on somebody like me to be there to garner money from people. And like I said, it was a joke. I didn't think I would get to where I'm at now, and $4,681 later is like here we are.
I think it's beautiful. That's amazing. So the majority of people, I don't know if you can share if it really makes a difference. One of the things that I think is really important is how there needs to be a very clear understanding that Africans are like people who were born on the soil but are here, stand and believe that this is also their fight. This is
Yes,
not something that is the African American issue. You know what I'm saying? Do
that's
you
that's
have
honestly that's been my fight right now. I complain about this. I feel like the elder Africans who migrated to the United States are a part
mhm,
of that small belief of separating themselves from the African American struggle. And I'm looking at some of them like, okay, you may not believe that you can relate to their struggle, but your skin color could relate to their struggle. Because when you get outside and you get in your car and a police officer comes behind you, he's not going to ask you, are you from Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, or nothing. That man is going to look directly at your
exactly,
skin and he's going to treat you like he would treat
exactly.
anybody with your same skin color. So that's been my fight with them. I have a lot of family members who have reached out to me saying that they are willing to help me because they see that I'm trying to move a narrative that I want to change. I want to change that stigma that Africans think we're better than Black Americans and all of that because we don't think that we may have our own personal issues with certain Black Americans that we come in contact with, but that's just that. It's personal. It's not such a generalized statement like saying, oh, all you guys are this or all of you. No, it's not that. So my
Right.
position is here. I want to help I want to bridge the barrier between Black Americans and Africans that migrated to America. And
I think it's so important. I think
it's
it's so
very
important, and
important.
that's definitely one of the things. Even when I was traveling, my focus with our travel brand Koku and I, was to do what we could do with our content to show people like you have a place in Africa, right?
Right.
And ultimately, if we really now think about it from like this perspective, the reason why there is even a place here where Africans feel like they're compelled to come here and start a new life, or come here, get education, and be able to enjoy basic rights, it's because of the African Americans who were here back in the 50s and 60s, you know, who really fought. Because, like me, my parents came in the 70s, and they came specifically for education, and then they stayed, right? Some of our parents came later on because of like war or whatever. But
Hmm.
like, I come from the generation where, because Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these people were doing that diligent work, they were able to
Exactly.
create a space where, when my parents arrived in the 70s, they didn't have to worry about what water fountain they could drink from. It was like that shit
Yeah.
was already taken care of.
Yeah.
So we can't afford to even be like diverge, divest, like act different. This is our issue, and we all have to be in it together.
Yeah. And
There's so many
I have an
narratives that
issue.
describe the African American, and we're not trying to blend those narratives. Like, each of them matters, but in this particular case, we all fall under the same umbrella, because I have yet to hear a story where a police officer pulls a young black person over and says, "Oh, your name? Oh, you're Sierra Leonean? Okay, it's cool. It's cool. You can go. I'm not going to mistreat you."
Right.
Yet to ever hear that happen. And let us never forget Amadou Diallo.
Right.
That was 20
Right.
years ago. That was New York. That was 20 plus bullets.
Yeah. And I look at it like, I want to, my biggest thing to all Africans, Caribbeans, um, or even
Mm-hmm.
Hispanics that migrate to America, like, you know, right now
Right.
the big saying is, oh, if you guys only love black people like you love black culture. So I look at the people that came here from other countries. I said, well, you guys are beneficiaries of the Black American fight, but don't want to stand next to the Black Americans for their fight that they're continuing to fight for. So don't come here and benefit of what they've already fought years and years and years for. And when they look to you to stand next to them, you're backing down. And also, I have an issue with the African nations that aren't standing up. I feel like every African nation right now should stand up and denounce the actions that are happening in this country, because
Absolutely.
we're black people are we are Africa's children. So we have to be taken care of by those people that are leading African nations. You guys have to stand up. You guys have to provide opportunity for Black Americans who are here and want to go to Africa and invest. You have to give us that opportunity to come back to invest. Don't only give it to the Chinese or the British or whoever else, the Lebanese. Don't give it to them. Give it to the same people that look like you. We are going to invest our money. Our dollar is just as valuable to your country and your economy as the next
Yep.
person, the person with the whiter skin. So until those countries start standing up and standing with us that are fighting here, we're gonna have a long fight. We're gonna have a long fight. I see people protesting in London, Germany, France. I love it. I love it because they're putting America on the clock. Like, yo, we're watching you guys. Like, we seeing everything that's
Yep.
happening. We're watching. So either y'all gonna get this together or certain things gonna change. America's gonna have to change because if America doesn't change, America is gonna get burned down to the ground.
I think you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. Um, One of the things that I would like you to do, because I'm going to include this in my newsletter, if you could send me any links, any like media that you have created, graphics that you want me to use.
Okay.
Because like I said, you know, people are asking me to educate them, to keep the content coming, to help them so that they can help the dialogue continue. And people want to know, you know, where they can not only donate, but where they can come for conversation and learn more and
I'm always
connect.
available to talk. I'm always available to talk. I like talking, whether it's with my friends or my family. I just like a good, healthy conversation because until we're able to openly express ourselves and listen to each other without being so angry to respond, we won't get anywhere.
Right.
Like, I like to listen. I like for people to tell me their perspective, and then I'll give you my perspective, and then we find a median to where we can come to and say, boom, you feel this way, I feel this way, but here's something that we agree on. Let's focus on what we agree on, and let's push this conversation elsewhere. Because if we keep attacking each other, we're never gonna get anywhere. Like, black people attacking other black people, we're never gonna get anywhere. Like, attacking white people is never gonna get you anywhere. You have to listen to them, because to me, maybe what they're saying to me doesn't make sense, but it's because they're not educated enough. If I'm at the position where I know and I can teach the next person, I'm going to do that.
Right.
Because until I teach,
Right.
if I let your ignorance continue to grow, I'm at fault. But if I know something and I can teach you and I refuse to, then I can't be mad at you for continuing to be ignorant.
You're right.
So,
I mean, that's the
my
thing.
page is
It's
always open
definitely
for conversation.
it's definitely about connecting and dialogue. You're right.
Right.
This warms my heart.
It's always fun talking to you.
Huh?
I said it's always fun talking to you.
I know. So here's the thing. We're getting ready to go into the second part of the conversation.
Right.
You guys are welcome to join again. I'm going to exit out of this because, of course, I got a phone call from someone and it reduced my volume. But the second part of this, and this is something that I want to start doing on a regular basis, is having time to really focus on how are we going to maintain our mental health through this. Meditation and breathing techniques is very, very important. And, I'm blessed because, like, I have a lot of you dope people in my network that are creatives. One person that's going to join us that is a certified yoga instructor, inner peace advocate, is going to really teach us the techniques behind breathing. So whether you're at work, let's say you have a very heated conversation with a workmate, you're having these tough conversations with family members and friends, but you don't have the ability to go home and like decompress. You've got to be able to get to daily regimens, no matter what it is that we do for a living, whether we're working from home, whether we're in workspaces by ourselves, whether we're in workspaces with the masses, factories, whatever the case may be. These are the types of techniques that we need to be focusing on, because one of the things that I strongly believe, the reason why we are even in this place, in this space, is because those prior to us, our parents, whomsoever, there are different things that they could have done, but they didn't do. Some of it is literally because lack of knowledge.
Right.
Other is it's due to it's just more convenient to turn the blind eye, or it's easier to just push through it and ignore, as opposed to combating certain situations head on. So now it's time to change the narrative and do things differently so that we're taking better care of ourselves mentally, not just physically, and we're teaching our kids what they need to do so that this generational bullshit does not continue and repeat itself.
Yeah, the cycle must end now. I've become a preacher of mental health. I've been somebody who have went through phases of being completely blanked out on how I feel mentally or emotionally. So like, it took me talking to other people to learn that it's okay to like alienate myself from everything and everybody around me just so I can get to a better place for myself, because I can't expect to be my
Right.
best self with
Right.
everybody else if I'm not good. So yeah, everybody, please practice your mental health. If you need to talk to anybody, do so. If you need to talk to a professional, do so. But please just focus on making sure that you're good before you focus on everybody else, because you can't put yourself in the back burner and worry about everybody else. Because at the end of the day, who's going to put you on the forefront to make sure that you're good if you're not doing that
Yeah.
for yourself? So that's my lasting message for everybody out there.
Absolutely. Yay.
So y'all
Thank
can
you,
y'all
Ish.
can hit my page.
I
at
appreciate you.
Talkyo_ish. The link is there the post is there if you want to donate. Any amount is acceptable. You can put $1. I'll take it because that dollar is going to get multiplied by somebody else, and then it's going to be greater for somebody else. So feel free to hit me up on my page if you want to take part in this initiative. There's going to be more coming. This is not where I'm stopping. I feel like I low key found my second calling, uh, because I can do the video, photography, and all that. But if I can also put myself out in the front lines and educate people and show my face to make sure that we're pushing forward the Black excellence that we are, then I mean, I got mad free time. Corona got me in the house, so
Yeah.
I'm here.
And you guys, you know me. I have not mastered the art of pinning. I'm still that person.
Just
So
press on
shade
it
me, don't
lightly.
shade me, whatever. But I'm definitely going to make sure that this is posted, all his information. So, and please join in donating. Like, this is the time. If you feel like you're not in a position physically to protest, there are so many different ways to protest.
Facts.
And supporting these people who are out there is the perfect way to get involved. And every dollar matters.
Every dollar matters, man. And don't let nobody tell you that your life doesn't matter, because it does. No matter how much they try to take away our shine, our melanin is ours, our excellence is ours, and they can't take it away from us. And if they try, we'll probably burn down another target. But we here, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
It was fun talking to you.
Thank you so much.
No
I
problem.
appreciate you. Be
All right.
careful and be safe.
You too.
All right.
All right.
This is a coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency. We cannot look at this as an isolated incident. The reason why buildings are burning are not just for our brother George Floyd. They're burning down because people here in Minnesota are saying to people in New York, to people in California, to people in Memphis, to people all across this nation, enough is enough. Yeah. And we are not responsible for the mental illness that has been inflicted upon our people by the American government, institutions, and those people who are in positions of power. I don't give a damn if they burn down Target, because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
You've been listening to I Am Gaima, a podcast. I Am Gaima, a podcast is produced literally wherever I am in the world, as long as I've got my laptop and my audio equipment. A special thanks to Vicky Cassis for producing Vibes. Before we wrap this episode up, I wanted to share something really exciting with you all. If you're a creative, an influencer, entrepreneur, or dreamer, you should check out my first little book called Flourish or Die. I share my perspective of what defines the journey of entrepreneurship and the role that mental fortitude plays throughout the journey. In this book, you'll find a 30-day exercise that hopefully evokes the writer in you, because anyone, especially anyone that's in one of these 4 categories, should be writing, journaling every single day. Flourish or Die is available in paperback as well as ebook on Amazon. You can connect with me personally about the book at flourishordie.com. Add Flourish Daily Quotes to your Alexa. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Thanks for listening.